Greetings, survivors, and welcome back to the Cataclysm, and of course, to Brutus Salazar, who is currently just chilling out after his remarkable end to the last episode, where we managed to get some delicious, delicious tea. In fact, it may not be hot anymore, but it's fine. We're going to drink it. We're going to finish it off, in fact, and then we're going to put our glass cup down. Now then, in this episode, there are many things that we need to have a look at. Very, very important things. There are a few changes have come into the game that we need to address. First and foremost, if there are any rotting things, or things that are rottable, keep a very close eye on them. These things now spawn carrion over time. That is not a bad thing. Personally, I'm quite happy with that, because it always felt that, well, when you had just rotten meat lying around, it really didn't do anything. Yes, something would come along and eat it eventually, but for the most part, it had no effect on the game whatsoever. But now it does, and it may be a bit of a surprise when plague-carrying zombie cockroaches and worse start spawning out of the rotten meat that you leave lying around. So be prepared to start dealing with that now. Whereas we've generally not worried about it in the past, we now need to worry about it very, very specifically, actually. In fact, let me grab my umbrella. Let's wield the no. I don't want to wear my towels. I want to wield my umbrella. These are fine. Let me take off this silly towel. There we go. Right. I have 4 plastic bottles of herbal tea. They should go down here. Frankly, let's drop those off. Also, I'm going to eat one of my vegetable sandwiches. There we go. Alright, let's head out and see what's going on around here. There's going to be a lot of nasty stuff going on around there, actually. Where is the swagon? We're going to have to find the swagon. There, right in front of me. Come on then, you. You got out of your duties earlier, but no longer. We need you to start moving things around. Now, one thing I'm going to quickly check. What's the capacity on the Swagon? The Swagon now has a cargo volume of 150 litres. The shopping cart has been upgraded significantly from what it used to be. So that's pretty nice. Another thing to be aware of. Early in the game, I pointed out the knife spear has been a very, very useful tool. It is still a very useful tool, but expect to have to repair it frequently or just make more of them, because they're now no longer quite as robust as they once were. Okay, all of that rotten meat, super, super bad. In fact, crazy bad. Alright, let's move everything across if we can. So, whomp. There we are. Now, can we move much else? Let's start moving through here as much as we can in one go. We can move quite a lot of it in one go. Wow. Okay. I'm pretty happy with that. Move more of this. Okay, that's fine. Now, I am... Can I take this inside and make something with it quickly? I wonder. I don't think I can. So what I'm going to do instead is we're going to dump all of the rotten stuff onto the ground. It makes the most sense to me. Let's just go through all the tainted meat, just dump it on the floor. Now, there are some benefits to this. We may end up with quite a lot of insect and various other things that we're going to be able to make use of, that we're going to be able to farm in a way. But it may actually be better if we instead try to destroy the corpses, the meat itself. And one way that we can do that is through good old-fashioned burning. We can just set her on fire and get rid of it all. That may well be a pretty solid way of doing things. Actually, you know what? Why don't we adopt a more specific way of going through this? Like, let's just move all of the food to where the food needs to be. Let's get it all through there. We've got a lot of it. We can easily see where it needs to go. There we are. We've got another frying pan. That should go down there as well, I guess. We've got so many frying pans, my lord. In fact, let's just take some of these frying pans out. Let's not have 1,000,000 frying pans. And for that point, we don't need that many pots either. We'll put them elsewhere. It'll be fine. So we'll drop those off somewhere else. We've got some plastic bottles, gallon jug. Are we actually popping the jugs over here? We might be. Yes, we are, actually. We're putting all the jugs and glass bottles. I think we'll continue with that for now. But we are going to change that soon. I'm thinking that I would like to actually have a rack specifically for all of those types of items. I think it would be reasonably a reasonably good idea, honestly, if I were to store that elsewhere. Right. Now, we've got various clothes over here. Are any of the clothes that we've got in good condition? Yeah, actually. Quite a few of them are. Alright. Let me just have a quick look. Am I wearing decent arm and leg guards? No. Interesting. Are my arm guards? Metal arm guards. Well, let's have a look at this then. No, I don't want to look at the locker. Hard arm guards and hard leg guards. Let's instead take those into my inventory. Oops. I want to get the item. That way I can compare them a little bit more reasonably. So, first and foremost, let's have a look at my... Let's check out the arm guards first. So, this one and these ones. Hard arm guards. They're probably going to go into the same location, I should imagine. Yes, they're strapped. The hard arm guards... they have a significantly lower encumbrance. They're about a third as encumbering, but only about half as protected. That's not bad. And they're the same for acid and environmental protection. They are much, much warmer. Much warmer. Can they be refitted? I wonder. Curved needle? They might be something I can refit. I don't think so. They do not conduct electricity, which is nice. Very nice, actually. You know what? I think we might swap those out. We might swap those out. And the leg guards in much the same way. But what are we wearing as the equivalent of the leg guards? I don't think we're wearing anything for that. So, sure. Okay, I'm going to wear both of those. I'm going to take off the metal arm guards. So let's find those. Where are they? Pair of metal arm guards. There we go. In fact, those are good enough that I'm going to drop them over here. Since this is more of my... This may be very useful stuff to me in the future at some point. Now, what are my legs? Oh, my legs are getting very encumbered at this point, though. The drop pouches are super nice. They're strapped on to me, though. They do give me an extra 2 liters of storage, but I don't think they're worth enough for me to take over the leg guards, so no. We're also going to take off those then, so where are you? Drop leg pouches, we'll drop those down here. Honestly, under normal operation, we don't need that. We can just move around as normal. But other than that, I think we're more or less in a good place. Let me just make sure I put the hard arm guards are fine. They're the only thing I'm wearing on my arms, which is interesting. As for the hard leg guards, let's just make sure that they're on this point. Now, it's not great. We're still a little bit encumbered, but overall, we're all right. Fits you well, has pockets, fits you well. By and large, I am reasonably happy with that. We could... What's the coverage? Well, if it goes through my hard leg guards, our leather chaps may still catch it. We haven't got particularly good coverage there, though, I'll be honest. But maybe we want to drop the leather chaps. Yeah, because we are getting very, very encumbered there. And that is going to start hurting us later on, I should imagine. So, let's find the leather chaps. There we are. And we'll drop those down here as well. There we go. Right, what else is in this cart? We've got a couple of tools. Bags of heroin. Let's go and move that up here. There we are. And got some tainted bone, rubber hose. Most of this stuff we can store just down in the general tools locker. This is generally useful tools for us, so I'm going to continue storing things like the brazier, cash card, rubber hoses there. The pots, they can go elsewhere, though. They can go over here in my general bric-a-brac pile. Simply because they're more crafting materials than anything else for me. Now, the combat knife is a bit of an interesting one, though. I'm not sure what we're going to be doing with the combat knife. We may want to keep hold of that and actually start using it as our weapon, or the knife of choice. Let's activate our sheath. We should have... where are we? Where is the sheath? Makeshift knife. Nope. You know what? Let me move away from all of the other things I can activate. There we are. That's a little bit easier. And we want to take out the steak knife. Draw the steak knife. Store it in my inventory. Oh, no. I didn't want to do that. I got a little bit wet. Alright, let's have a look at the steak knife and the combat knife. There we are. Now, in terms of butchering, this is only very slightly less useful than the steak knife. It's got the same cutting, same fine cutting. It's only 1 point less useful. But in terms of combat, this knife is fantastic. It costs a little bit more movement points, but overall, it's really, really nice. Now, the big thing that can be done with it, though, is you can actually mount it on a gun to be a little bit more useful in terms of melee or a crossbow, as the case would be for us, really. But this one does have techniques. Now, generally speaking, we do have our knife spear, our forked spear, but that will likely go the same direction as the knife spear, because again, it's a very crude weapon. It's not fabricated in a specifically robust manner. It's basically a bunch of spikes lashed onto a wooden pole. Now, one would assume that the forked spear, a little bit more care has been taken in the way that you've lashed it and wrapped it onto the pole. It's probably a lot more robust than the knife spear, which really was a very crude makeshift weapon. However, it is more than likely going to get the same sort of treatment and be made fragile in the same way. So we're going to want... Ooh, can I not store that in there? Is only the steak knife capable of being stored? Oh, wait, no. More than likely, I haven't taken it out. There we go. Let's go ahead and do that. No, the steak knife is still the only one. Can the combat knife not be stored? No, it can be stored. But it has to be an actual sheath. It cannot be stored in a pair of boots. Well, that's a bit of a shame. Okay, though. So I'm going to need to make a sheath, or an alkyl sheath, or something along those lines. Alright, well, in the meanwhile, then, we will just go ahead and store that again. I may have actually already looked at that. But that can go up here in my specific weapon locker, I feel. But yes, that is a pretty big change that has come into the game since when I set up this actual game. So I wanted to cover especially the knife spear, because I wouldn't want people to suddenly find themselves at a massive disadvantage because they just assumed that they were going to be okay with the knife spear, and then the first fight, it basically breaks on them, like, straight away. That would be especially wretched. Where was I storing all of that? Okay, head torch time for me to see. There we go, it's just down here. Whomp. And we shall drop all of the frankly ridiculous amounts of rotten stuff in here. There we go, though I did notice that something else has been broken around the side of the house. I hadn't yet done a full sweep. Ooh. No, what's... just 2 pointed sticks. Seems that whatever died in there got up and wandered off. Alright then. Very well, I'm going to need to fix that. I'll just drop these sticks. Nope, I want to drop capital D, not capital S. 2 pointed sticks over there, and we'll take care of the rest. Right, so what else have we got? We've got a lot of car parts, which is actually pretty cool, because we're going to be doing a fair old bit of modifying our vehicle in this one. But for the time being, I'm just going to go ahead and continue to empty out the car. I just really wanted to talk through a couple of the little bits and bobs that we were looking at that had changed since I set up the game, because again, it might have been a little bit disorienting if you suddenly found yourself with spears that were constantly breaking and just never noticed that it happened that way for me. So I shall bring you back when I'm done emptying out the car. Okay, there we go. I have moved everything around. Oh, that took me more time than I would like to admit. Right, the first thing we're going to do now that we've got all of this done, we're going to wield our go bag. We're going to head up here so I can see what I'm doing, and I'm going to disassemble the go bag, and I'm going to get a bajillion things out of it. It's going to be great. We're going to get a duffel bag, a backpack, an army helmet, army jacket, army pants, compression shop, Kevlar vest, chest, rig, now that one's actually pretty cool, raincoat, rain hood, long underwear bottoms, towel, pair of combat boots, sneakers, socks, tactical gloves, rubber gloves, a fire gauntlet, 100 batteries, a flashlight, a lighter, a pocket knife, a roll mat, a sleeping bag, a pair of earplugs, and just frankly amazing stuff. So, sure, let's go ahead and do that. And now there's frankly a ridiculous amount of stuff on the floor. So actually I was a bit premature in putting the swagging down. Right, let's get all of this out. Well, I'm really not sure what we're going to be keeping. So let's start with the basics. Let's drop anything I particularly want to disassemble. Sure. Well, actually, no. We'll just simply put the flashlight in there for now. Same as, well, the pocket knife. I do consider the pocket knife more of a tool than I consider it a weapon. So we're going to pop it up into the tools locker, along with the butcher knife, really. We'll pop that in there. The towel, see, now we've got so many towels that it seems silly to store more, but at the same time, they are fantastically useful. I also definitely want to drop off the batteries, so let's do that. We've now got a fair old amount of batteries. Now, this is definitely armor. So given that, let's start storing it, shall we? This is stuff that we don't want to simply tear down. Combat boots, fire gauntlets, tactical gloves. Those are all wonderful. The sleeping bag is quite nice. And possibly the roll mat as well, if I'm perfectly honest. That might be quite good to keep with us as well. We'll drop off... Well, the army jacket might be useful. We'll drop off the backpack, definitely. The compression top. Yeah, definitely. The duffel bag, long underwear bottoms. Earplugs, they're somewhat more useful. The sneakers, the socks, the raincoat, the rain hood, and the t-shirt, they're all not quite as useful. Now, in here I have got a rather piddling little lighter of only quality, with only 10 charges, so we're going to swap those out. This being my going out tools. And should we have the earplugs? Yes, you know what, we will. We'll also pop the sleeping bag in there just for the time being. Now, as for the army pants and army jacket, they are better than what we've got. The army jacket, maybe not. We're going to drop that off. But it seems that what we're going to be doing now is actually taking care of setting some of these things up. The rubber gloves, they can go in there though. Right, and with that, everything else we'll actually take out. And we'll just go and leave the swaggin right by there. Okay, so let me grab the army helmet. I believe I've already got a better one, but we'll see. And the thermoelectric suit, we don't need to have a look at that. The tool belt, you know, not terribly bad. But where are you? Tactical gloves. Well, there's also the combat boots. I don't think are better than what we've currently got. Now, what kind of gloves am I presently wearing? I'm wearing a pair of leather armor gauntlets. It's going to be unlikely these are going to be able to compete with that, but we'll see. Actually, it's not terrible, but the tactical gloves, a pair of reinforced Kevlar tactical gloves, I mean, they're not that much better than a pair of leather armor gauntlets, and they are fantastically low in encumbrance. So yeah, we're going to just drop those off straight away. No point in us holding on to them. There we go. Now the army helmet. Let's have a look. What am I wearing on my head? I'm actually wearing an army helmet, so that's fine. Let's drop that off then. Don't need that right now, though it's nice to have a spare. Now, the army pants versus the cargo shorts. This is going to be a big one. Let's have a look now. So, better storage. A lot higher encumbrance, though. Also, better protection. A tough pair of pants lined with pockets, favoured by the military. I mean, It's nice storage. It has fantastic amounts of coverage as well. Can we make it fit? That's going to be the big question there. And the other thing that we wanted to have a look at is the chest rig. What is a chest rig? Well, a light vest covered in webbing, pockets and straps. This variety is favoured by the military as it's capable of holding 4 magazines close at hand. It's on the layer of the waist, torso. Does not conduct electricity. Is worn on or around your waist. Clothing performs well even when soaking wet. We can use it to make the runner pack. That's quite nice. That's actually very nice. Let's have a look at what's required for the runner pack, shall we? Now, we've got the chest rig. We have got a tool belt as well. We need 80 duct tape. We've got a backpack. Honestly, we have everything that we would need for this. Incumbents 2. It's strapped on the torso, though. A custom-built lightweight runner pack, durable and carefully crafted to hold as much stuff as possible. 4.5 cargo there. That's not bad. Let's have a look at what I've already got on my torso. I've got a lot of things that are generally strapped on there. One on and around my waist, strapped onto me, so it would be in contest with that, strapped onto me. Honestly, we don't need a runner pack. I mean, it would be nice, but we really don't need it. Our torso is constantly ridiculously encumbered. I don't think it's really something we need to worry about. So I am actually going to drop the chest rig as well. And the army pants for now. I don't think we really need those as much of a high priority. Right, let's quaff some clean water. Sure, yeah, we'll top up. Now, at this stage, there's a couple of things I'd like to do. I wouldn't mind reading a little bit. We're not going to go to sleep just yet. What have I popped in there? Oh, that's the sleeping bag. Very well. Let's grab some... We should have some wood in here. In fact, actually, the short ropes, they should go elsewhere. Yeah, and the 7 small strings. In fact, wow, there's so many things in here that shouldn't be in here. My goodness, how did this... Where am I looking? Am I looking down? Oh, I was looking in the wrong place. I was like, why are all of these things here? That makes no sense. Well, you'll be right. It didn't make any sense. Right, let's drop off the splintered woods. Let's go grab my fire drill. There's no reason to use anything but the fire drill right now. I'm actually going to grab the sleeping bag and I'll pop it up on the bed. Since we generally... we're going to be going to sleep here before we do anything else, so it makes sense for now. And with that done, we're going to have a bit of a read. We want to try and get our mechanics up, we do. There we are, mechanics level 7. Let's continue on to level 8 if we can. Feeling pretty tired though. Yeah, stop. We're dead tired, in fact. Alright, that's enough of internal combustion fundamentals for now then. We can drop off the campfire drill as well. There is, however, one more thing I would like to do. Have we got a sewing kit in here? We have got one sewing kit. Well, let's reload the sewing kit if we can. Don't have any thread to reload it with, really. I think you're lying to me. Let's unload the sewing kit then. And reload the sewing kit with... sure, I'll just go with plant fibre in that case then. No particular reason to worry about it. Now, if we have a look at the sewing kit... If I have a look for this... So... No. We don't seem to know how to do that. A tailor's kit. Now, a tailor's kit is a better sewing kit. This is a high-quality plastic kit with a variety of needles, some plastic spools of thread, some real small scissors, even a small heating element for melting and joining plastic. Use the tailor's kit to customize your clothing and armor. This uses your tailoring skill. Now that will be particularly useful for us because effectively our sewing kit is just that. It's a plastic kit with a variety of needles, some plastic spools of thread, and a few other customized textiles. Use the sewing kit on an article of clothing to attempt to repair or reinforce it. But the tailor's kit can do so much more. Right, I would like to grab my soldering iron. Where be you? Let's find you. There we are. And reload the soldering iron if we can. There we go. Let's go ahead and try and make a tailor's kit. Oh, I need knitting needles. Can I make those? Yes, I can make some out of splintered wood, as it happens. Probably just grabbed it out of the fire. Right, so, tail. There we go. Let's make one of these. The nearby sewing kit. Ooh. Yeah, sure. There we are. Now we have a tailoring kit. Let's go ahead and reload this. And let's see. The tailor's kit can only take thread. Well, you know. Oh, well. Now, modify clothing. Repair cotton. Cut up an item. It's possible that only because... yeah, we can just use it to repair. So, if we modify clothing... then we can start doing some interesting things. Okay. Well, in that case, then I'm going to unload this one. Going to pop that back down. And we'll drop the tailoring kit. We'll drop the... sorry, the sewing kit over here. We no longer need that with us. At all. I'm going to need to get some thread. It's going to take me some time. But, as you can tell, Brutus Salazar is bone tired. So let's just go to sleep. For the time being, though, let's drop off everything we don't need on us. So that would be the longbow, the quiver, the large quiver, the duffel bag. All of those things need to go on the floor. And then wield my forked spear. There we are. What else am I carrying? I've got a bunch of vegetable sandwiches. Sure. Eat a vegetable sandwich. Have a drink of some water before we sleep. And then let's have a sleep. A long, good sleep. We deserve this sleep. There we go. Nice. Right, okay. Well, we're hungry. We'll probably be very thirsty by the time we wake up as well. But we're going to be spending a bit of time tailoring. I think that's going to be a focus for this episode. Let's try and get all of Brutus Salazar's equipment up to at least reinforced. That will also, in turn, train our tailoring. Let's actually look at my tailoring. Yeah, it's only at 98%. Dodging is 6.1 out of... What? How... what? Dodging is 6.1 out of... How does... I don't... Something is making me very good at dodging. Oh. Oh, is it perhaps my style? I have no idea how 6.1 out of 3 has happened unless I picked up some sort of ability. We do have a martial art that might work for it. I don't know, but that is definitely something that we're going to want to figure out before it causes me some sort of mischief, I fear. But okay. Alright, so today, as I mentioned, we're just... oh, that's what it is. Oh. A creepy crawler. What? I've not seen one of those before. What was once a child is now a mutant beast with blackened skin and massive eyes. This abomination's vile form makes a mockery of all of its human origin. Marvelous. A shriekling. I've not seen one of these either. This heavily mutated child zombie twitches and flails its limbs in painful-looking spasms as it runs about. I approve. Brutus Salazar, we have many things to kill. Many, many things. Let's go. Right, am I wielding my longbow? I'm probably not wielding my longbow. Let's store that in my inventory. Get out there and start killing the zombies. Hello, zombie. Care you to come join me? That's right, you can get it nice and close. Okay, we've got a fairly decent chance of taking you out before you even get close enough to hurt me. We'll deal with all of the corpse bit in a moment because we are going to very much want to store these together and then burn them all. Wow. I'm a little bit sad. I feel a tiny bit bad about that. Right. Fire. And again. And again. There we go. Marvelous. Now we need to deal with you as well. So So, how hard are you going to be to kill? Not hard at all, actually. Okay, well, that was a tad bit disappointing. I'll be honest with you, a little bit sad about that. Powdered candy sticks. Sure, okay. Let me go and grab the folded swag, and we're going to move all of that stuff with us and get it all into a single big old batch. I'm going to grab the lighter as well. In fact, yeah, you know what? We're going to torch it. So let me grab some splintered woods. We'll grab 5 splintered woods. That'll be enough to set a good fire, I think. We're going to give these zombie children, and in fact the other zombie, by virtue of the fact that I killed it at the same time, a proper funeral. You know what? I should have been doing this all along, really. I should have been doing it all along. We'll gather these things up as we go. Actually, I can carry you. Wow, the folded swagon has become significantly more useful. My lord. I can carry corpses in it. That is not a thing that it used to be able to do. Though it's going to be a bit of a tricky one to get anything else in it. Alright, let's grab you as well. And right, let's just drop off the corpses. So, oops, wrong thing. There we are. Corpses. 1, 2. I will cut them up still. And the reason why I'm going to do that is because it will generally burn faster. Single bits of meat burn a lot faster than an entire body. Makes a lot of sense. It is actually very hard to get a body to combust. People think you could just set a body on fire. No, actually you can't. Doesn't quite work like that. Ah. See, this is now a beautiful thing. If you use comma, it will now perform the check to see if you can in fact move everything you're trying to store in the item. That is so fantastically good. So, comma, it will now move. Whereas before it would have tried to move it all and then just said, oh yeah, it doesn't fit, and carried on dumping it on the floor for the next like 5 minutes. Which was just a massive waste of your time. Alright, let's pop the swag in there. I'm going to go ahead and butcher everything here. Butcher everything. There we are. We've got some tainted meat, tainted bones. Those are all useful. How is it that we make the pheromone? Okay. I might need to go and actually check that inside. Need the access to books for that one. So, how does one make pheromone? Just ammonia. Alright, well in that case then, I will... Yeah, we'll take care of that in a moment. I'll be right back, Volkswagen. What I want to do is I want to drop the... my vegetable sandwiches are starting to go off as well, which is a little bit of a shame. Let's eat my way through as many of these as I can. Because once they do go off, as you can imagine, it's going to be pretty bad for us. And we're going to just light that. There we go. That should burn nicely. Get rid of all of that that filth. Alright. Actually, I'm going to need the light open. Alright, first and foremost then. Pheromone. Let's make all of it that we can. 3 zombie pheromones, please. There we go. And we'll drop that down here. Zombie pheromone, in you go. And can I not make any more? Because we've definitely got the meat. Oh. Ah, my bad. I went ahead and probably used all the charges in the hobo stove for that. That's rather silly of me. And I could just do this instead. There we are. I'm not going to use another charge on the lighter. I know they're not particularly difficult to come by, but again, waste not, want not. Alright, there we go. So, we want... No, that is not what I wanted to do. Pheromone. I'm all fingers and thumbs today, I do apologize. Whomp. There we go. That is all the zombie pheromone we are going to need for an incredibly long time. Alright, so... Alright, what have we got in here then? We've got a lot of stuff that honestly, none of it is worth keeping. Only thing of any actual value to us is the candies. Every other single thing here can be torn down. I'm not going to tear that down right now, though, because it's a whole lot of time for not very much game. So I'm just going to move it all over there. Then we're going to leave the folded wagon right by there. Whilst we, instead, we're going to need to grab some short... Well, not the short ropes, no. Let's get 7 small strings. And I'm going to take these apart. There we go. It'll take me 5 minutes each. Can I continue doing that? No, I can't, unfortunately. Maybe if I just drop them all. My sandwiches are rotten. Poop. Super poop. Oh well. Let's drop those there. What do I get? Loads of wood ash. I guess try and set that on fire. I suppose I didn't need the wood there after all, but that's all alright. Right, let's see if I can just disassemble everything once. Fantastic. There we go. Let's grab all of the thread. Grab all of that thread. Perfect. We can close the outside. There we are. Perfect. Right, well, we're going to have to make some more fuel now, but let's wear the longbow so I'm not constantly trying to reload it when I don't want to. Reload the head torch. I'll have to be near the batteries for that, won't I? Reload the head torch, and then reload the tailor's kit. There we are. Marvellous. Now then, time for us to get tailoring. Let's repair things first. Wool scarf is loose. Can I? I have no success chance. So let's go for something else. Repair. Can I repair the leg guards? Yes, there is success chance. So let's keep going. Don't have enough neoprene sheets. Neoprene sheets, eh? Well, let's go for... If we use this and choose M Neo. No, we're probably not going to find anything with that. See over here, maybe? In fact, let's go for a round. M Neo. Yeah, in fact, there is a neoprene. What? Only thing we've got, though. Let's head over here. Maybe some of the armor here had it. No. Okay, well, we're not improving that one then. It's a bit of a shame. Let's repair instead then. Let's 5 goggles. Nope, no chance of it. Let's repair. Well, that's going to say exactly the same thing, isn't it? Yeah, we're not going to have the neoprene. Okay, fair enough. Let's instead then modify. Let's see what we can do. We can have a look at our army helmet. I could line it with wool, which would increase its warmth, but also increase its encumbrance. Could pad it with leather, which would improve its bash and cut potential significantly, but again would dramatically increase its encumbrance. Do we care too much about the head encumbrance? Let's have a quick look. Has no effect. It simply limits how much you can put on. Alright, I think we shall then. Let's go ahead and modify that. Now this is what... You can't do this with a regular sewing kit. You specifically have to have the tailor's kit. And we've got enough Kevlar, I believe. There we are. Our army helmet has been modified. Marvellous. Right, okay. Next up, let's go ahead and modify... let's not modify the survivor goggles because I imagine the encumbrance there would be quite nasty. Yeah, increasing that encumbrance would be particularly bad. The other thing I would like to have a look at is, am I hot on my head? Yeah, kind of. So let's avoid that one. Let's avoid that one for now. What's my tailoring skill at? Currently very close to the next level. Modify clothing. We could have a look at our boots, perhaps. Wouldn't be terribly bad. We could, of course, also look at the shorts. Let's have a look at the boots. We could increase the warmth. Don't strictly need to. We could massively increase the cut and protection. In fact, even though it's 16 though, it's doubling the encumbrance for not quite doubling the protection, but it is a decent increase to protection. But instead, let's have a look at where I can afford to have some extra encumbrance. My arms, my hands, and in fact, yeah, my feet. My feet can afford to have that bit of extra encumbrance. It wouldn't be a huge problem for me. That might not be a bad idea. My hands, perhaps. Let's have a look at what that would affect. Reduces the speed at which you can handle and manipulate items. Reloading costs extra movement. Dexterity is slightly lower when throwing things. And melee and thrown attacks have +2 movement points. Okay. I think we're going to go for the hands first. Feet, running costs a little bit more. I think we can do both of these. And that should actually help out a lot. If we have a quick look at the... Where are my bone boots? The coverage is 95%, so any increase in what they can take is going to really, really pay off for us. And the gauntlets are not quite as much, because there's only like a 50% bonus. So of the two, the best gains will be had by upgrading my bone boots. And for those, we are going to go ahead and go with Kevlar if we can. There we go. Very nice indeed. Very, very nice indeed. And our tailoring has now increased to 5. Now with that, there are going to be a couple of things that we can do now. We could make a survival knife if we wanted to. I would need to make the forging tools for that. I can make a mask. Now, this goes on the eyes and the mouth. It has an environmental protection of 1, but it has bashing and cut protection. It's reasonably encumbering. A maximum 100 charges of gas mask cartridge. And has level 1 glare protection. A custom-built reinforced gas mask that covers the face and eyes. Provides excellent protection from smoke, tear gas, and shrapnel. It must be prepared before use. That is actually quite tempting. Quite tempting. We could use a firefighter PBA mask. 2 pairs of safety glasses. 3 rags, 4 Kevlar plates. We've also got a couple of other items now. Light survivor gloves. We can now make proper survival items. We'd need to make duct tape to be able to make it, but that level 5 in tailoring, it's a big step. I kind of didn't really pay too much attention to it. I didn't want to get too bogged down, because once you can start making really custom built gear, your survivability, like at the moment, Brutus Salazar is already really hard to threaten. A zombie. Brute, okay, that's scary. A shocker, yeah, definitely scary. It can shoot for. It's basically a Sith. It can force lightning you. That is scary no matter who you are, unless you're Dapper McJester or his stuff. But once you start making your survivor armor, you get a lot of storage, a lot of protection, and low encumbrance for what you're making. It starts to get very, very, very potent. Very potent. Double barrel rifle, runner pack, telescope. We still need the high quality lenses. We're nowhere near that. The light survivor suit. A lightweight, home-built combination armor made from a cut-down bulletproof vest and a reinforced jumpsuit made out of fabric. Protects from the elements as well as from harm. Environmental protection of 3 is actually quite high. Quite high. Where does that sit? It does not conduct electricity. It's designed to keep you dry in the rain, so I wouldn't need to really worry about that then. It fits you perfectly, won't let water through. Will protect you from harm, withstand a lot of abuse. But where does it sit? It's just a normal layer. So you'd wear this over your skin-tight clothing and beneath your outer layers of clothing. All we need is, a lot of duct tape, and we can make this. We've got the Survivor Harness, which will go on the torso, but the waist, a custom-built light harness covered with pouches and including an integral tactical sling for a small rifle or other such weapon. Durable and carefully crafted to be comfortable to wear. Okay, that's... but as you can see, look at the encumbrance of these items. The encumbrance on them is very, very low. Survivor harness, the survivor backpack. I mean, the backpack carries a lot of stuff for only 8 encumbrance. This would give an extra 3 liters of storage for just 2 encumbrance. And most of them are designed to... They are particularly tough. They're very robust pieces of clothing. And they almost all of them, I believe, can just... They do well, even when wet. Lightweight Kevlar armored cargo pants designed to hold as much as possible. It's 8 encumbrance there. Survivor hood, survivor body armor. Lightweight custom-built body armor made of Kevlar and tough fabric. That's on the just on the torso there, though. So with these, you can make your own sort of thing. The light survivor suit, if you've got it, torso, arms, and legs, all very well protected. A good bit of storage as well. Its coverage is 100%. That's the part to pay attention to there. It will, if something hits you, it's going to hit this first. At least if it goes for the torso, arms, and legs. The cargo pants, 95% on the legs. The body armor, 95% on the torso. But they would be conflicting. Sleeveless survivor trench coat. Very low encumbrance, very high storage. Lots of protection. Lots of them have very high environmental protection. Light survivor boots, light survivor gloves. These are quite nice. Very, very nice, in fact. A pair of customized Kevlar armored cloth gloves, modified to be easy to wear while providing maximum protection under extreme conditions. So this is really where we're going to be getting to. We're going to be starting to upgrade our gear significantly. But for that, we're going to need duct tape. Duct tape. Literal duct tape made of ducks. We're going to need some super glue. There we go. Let's go ahead and make a lot of super glue. Well, it's going to take 2 hours to make all of this. Is our fire going to last that long? I'm not sure it will. No, it did not. Scallywag. It's my own fault, though. I knew it wouldn't. I will grab 50 this time. Let's go ahead, set all of this up. We're at least going to make the... Well, actually, I should drop off the tainted bones at the very least. And also grab the wood ash and drop that off as well. We can use the wood ash to make lye, but because I don't have dirty clothing, there's not too much reason to make soap. There are a few things, like, for example, the shaver requires soap. Super glue. Let's go ahead. Oh, I need to actually use the campfire drill there. There we go. And super glue. Now, let's go ahead and make all of that, please. And indeed, thank you. Use the water. We should have enough. There we go. Now we want duct tape. Not made of ducks this time. That needs 1 super glue, 6 rags, 1 plastic chunk, and some sinew or plant fiber. We can't make a whole lot of these, unfortunately, but we're going to get a lot of duct tape from it, and we may as well. There we are. We have now memorized the recipe. Forevermore, we'll be able to make it wherever we please. Super good times. Survivor stuff. There we go. Now then, the question here. This will go on the outer head. It's got 100% coverage. That will just not let rain through. It's fantastic. Light survivor gloves, light survivor mask. The gloves, pretty solid, I would say. It's 5, 8, 1, and 3, and only 5 encumbrance. Let's have a look at our current pair of leather gauntlets. 5, 8, 1, and 3. So less bash, more cut protection, better acid, better environmental, slightly more encumbering. This one is built to take a lot of abuse, to be fair, but I think it's safe to say that the survivor gloves are better. So let's go ahead and make some of these. We'll use the tactical gloves. Might as well. And we'll use the leather gloves, since we've got 2 of them. Shall we go with the soldering iron? The soldering iron has... Well, actually, no. We'll use the welder, since it's not going to take that many charges. And there we go. Now, we could in fact, go on to modify those light survivor gloves even further. We could increase the cut and the bash and cut protection significantly by doubling the encumbrance, but I'm not sure we really need to. I'm not sure that's something we strictly want to do. Let's just do a quick comparison, an actual comparison. We'll see how they stack up. Now, bear in mind that the leather armor gauntlets are reinforced as well. So these are the light survivor gloves, 100% coverage. That in and of itself is fantastic. It's phenomenal. The fact that it has a little bit less bash and is a little bit more encumbering, yeah, that's negative, but it has acid protection. Generally, though, you're not going to have to worry about acid on your hands. You don't tend to get acid on your hands. In terms of protecting, it's much the same thing. This won't let water through unless you jump in the river or something, and it fits us perfectly. So our hands are effectively fine in the rain. What a full set of... if you get 100% coverage across your whole body of survivor gear, you're effectively immune to rain. So you can stop carrying around an umbrella, or more to the point, you can happily fight in the rain without any concern that it's going to hit your mood. Can we improve this even more? We've got a very slight chance. I think we'll wait until then. But let's go ahead and pop that on. Take off our armored gauntlets. Make sure that everything is properly equipped. We should be fine. Yep, they are. So our armored gauntlets, we're going to keep them. Put a lot of effort into those. So I don't see much point to throw them away. The next thing that we're going to have a look at, let's have a look at our head. We've got an army helmet and a head torch. That's fine. The eyes, we've got the survivor goggles. They're fairly encumbering, 10 encumbrance, but they've got 8 and 12 bash cut. And our mouth has got a wool scarf. You know, it's got decent warmth, but it's only covering 45%, so things can get to me there. And the environmental protection is pretty low. In fact, it's really, really low. So, let's go ahead and have a look at our mask. Oh, actually, one more thing I wanted to check. The head, these are very bulky, strapped onto us. It could be refitted. Okay, that's actually pretty cool to know. And it is waterproof. All right. It's regular levels, I guess. It's just normal layers. Okay, well, let's have a look then. So, survivor. Oh, that was wrong. Surk. Nope. Let's see. The light survivor mask. There are heavy versions of all of these as well. So you can become much more heavily armed if you particularly choose to. This only goes on the eyes and mouth, so we don't have to worry about the helmet being impeded. Does have a little bit of environmental protection. Not a huge amount, though. Maximum 100 charges of gas mask cartridge. Let's have a look at that. Gas mask cartridge. We can make them. I just need some charcoal. Okay. Medium replacement filter cartridge for air filtration masks. Oh, I happen to know where we can get some charcoal. Unload. Where are you? The charcoal forge. Thank you. Gas mask cartridge. Now, how many of these will we get? We get 100. So, let's go ahead and make 300, shall we? Yeah, we'll use 30 minutes worth of time to make some gas mask cartridges. Then reload the charcoal forge. There we are. Marvellous. We'll store the majority of these, 200 in here. Well, no. Let's not do that. We'll drop them. Oop. Damn it, capital S. 200 of them in here. We'll also drop down off the duct tape. And in fact, there's super glue as well. There we go. Why have I got the charcoal forge on me? Drop that off, thank you. Right, so with that, let's go ahead. Survivor. Gas mask. It is higher encumbrance by, a fair whack. Same on the eyes, though, so it's not any worse. But it is going to encumber our mouth a lot more, so breathing will be a little bit harder. It comes naturally with glare protection, so it's going to be similar in that regards to my current setup. Sure, let's grab you. We'll use... okay, just one super glue instead of the duct. Well, we've got a lot of duct tape, so we can use We'll use the regular gas mask, I think. The welder's... well, it uses a lot more charges now, but the welder is the one that we can easily make. Whoa. Damn it. There we go. Now, can we repair that? Very small chance, so let's not. Right, so let's have a quick look at these. So, where are the survivor goggles? In terms of the gas mask, exactly the same encumbrance. The survivor goggles have slightly better protection though. And acid protection is significantly higher. Environmental protection is significantly higher as well. So that's a bit of a worry. Same level of glare protection though. I mean, environmental protection for the eyes, I don't think you necessarily have to worry about it. Environmental protection is really generally irritants. And the majority of those that you need to worry about are things like diseases or any other particulate that you might breathe in that would suddenly ruin your lungs or make you start sprouting mushrooms out of your face. And possibly your eyeballs for that matter. But I don't think they actually, you can get infected by any of that through your eyes. So I think, generally speaking, this is a better item. But let's also check out the wool scarf. There we are. So in terms of the wool scarf, it is a significant improvement over the protection there. It doesn't improve in any other particular way, but except that this is going to protect me from smoke and the like. Okay. Well, with that done, we don't need the scarf anymore, so let's drop that off. Where are you? Wool scarf. There we go. And we're going to drop off the survivor goggles as well. I think at that point we're really starting to... where are they? Pair of survivor goggles. There we go. Wear the light survivor mask. Now, if we have a look at my mouth encumbrance, covering your mouth will make it more difficult to breathe and catch your breath. So we're going to have to stop for a little bit longer when we need to grab stamina. But if we have a look at that now, we can activate it. We can just straight up recharge it right now. So let's go ahead and do that. The light survivor mask, please. The X for my inventory. Now, if I have a look at it now, we can activate it. And at that point, we would be able to move freely through thick smoke without coughing our lungs out. I believe. We might not be perfectly protected from it, but that our character, Brutus Salazar, is really starting to look interesting, let's just say. Very interesting at this point. Now, any other survivor items that we really want to make right now? This is the carbine and the 6-shooter. I'm not particularly worried too much about those. We've already got the gloves. The boots, maybe. I'd need a lot of thread for that, though. An awful lot of thread. But 9 encumbrance, 8-13, acid 1, environmental 3. There's certainly no slouch. Let's check our current boots. Now, these have been upgraded, so they're really quite good. But encumbrance of 16. That's pretty rough. But very, very strong for protecting us. I think we are going to go ahead and make it, though. So what do we need for that? We're going to just need some more thread, so I can happily unload this for now. Go ahead and make the boots. We will use just the regular boots. We'll use the welder this time. There we go. And we will take off the... where are you? Bone boots there. And again, remember that these are reinforced bone boots, so it's not strictly a fair comparison. But if you have a look, they are a decent amount less encumbering. I mean, there isn't a huge difference between their coverage, I'll be honest. There is a decent, quite a big difference in the amount that they protect, though. That is a bit of a shame. I could possibly improve that. If we reload... Well, actually, let's just go ahead and... Well, we can't activate it. Let's reload the tailor's kit. activate the tailor's kit. Modify clothing. Have a look at this. What can we do? After 13, 18. Encumbrance would go up to 19. 13, 18... yeah, it would lose a lot of its benefits at that point. A lot of its benefits. But to be perfectly honest, the light boots are probably still more than enough for the types of zombies that we're fighting at the moment. The drop in acid protection is a bit of a shame. It's quite a bit of a shame, honestly. And the lack of fire protection as well, but no, that's fine. We're gonna go mostly survivor gear. The bone armor boots are perhaps the only ones that... Ooh, have I still got that knife with me? I believe the bone armor boots have them in it. Let me draw the steak knife. There we go. Then we can pop those back. Can I store things in my boots? I can indeed. Marvellous. Right, unload. Oops. Unload the tailor's kit again. And survivor. Now, the backpack, the body armor. Don't really think those are necessary. At this point, the duster or the trench coat would be nice, but we don't have those items. Utility belt would be amazing, but we don't have the basic belt. Where is the suit? Oh, there we are. Right up there. This, I think, is going to be a big upgrade for us. Again, it's 100% protection. It has a hood to keep your head warm if your head is unencumbered. If not, we could just wear the survivor hood. It should be around here somewhere. Right there. We need 4 Kevlar plates for it, though. But that would be quite nice. And at that point, I think we'd actually be completely safe from rain. And from getting wet in any kind of situation. But let's go ahead and make the suit. We will use... well... we'll use the tool belts since we've got so many of them. We'll use the MBR vest empty because I'm fairly certain we've got a few of those. We'll use some more of the welder charges. There we are. Alright. And with that... and now we need to sort some things out. So the light survivor suit, it goes in the middle, I would say. This is worn over our clothing, so we can actually have that underneath the MBR vest. The encumbrance on that is staggering, though, but it's so good at protecting us. Warm to the skin, fits you well. Fits you well. So I'm going to have to drop the t-shirt for this one. But 6 and 10 for only 7 encumbrance is pretty solid. The coverage on the MBR vest is wonderful, don't get me wrong. So let's go and drop off the t-shirt first. In terms of our arms, we head down there. We've got the arm guards on the outside strapped onto us, so there shouldn't be any particularly large encumbrance there. But at this stage, the light survivor suit is better. Significantly better, actually. The only thing it really helps with is warmth. We're going to drop the arm guards then. And now legs. The survivor suit should probably go above shorts. Actually, no, the cargo shorts need to be dropped. They're the ones that are going to be causing a mess up with the encumbrance there. And the hard leg guards. Survivor suit is better. Well, the bash, not quite. But cut, definitely. And environmental, definitely as well. And once again, significantly more coverage. So, I think we're going to be losing the cargo shorts. Yep. So, cargo shorts gone. And also the leg guards. Let's have a look at you now. My encumbrance is extremely low. We're still warm. Still reasonably protected, I would say. That is not bad at all. We've still got a water skin there, so a little bit more encumbrance on that side. Eyes and mouth, you know, decently encumbered. Head is encumbered, but that's not a big issue for me. Now, if we didn't have the longbow on, the quiver on, and the longbow is a massive amount of encumbrance. The large quiver, not so bad. The duffel bag, though, is a huge issue. That's 30 encumbrance. It does give us 30 storage, to be fair, but let's quickly just do a quick test. If I were to take off the longbow, let's just assume I wasn't wearing it, and take off the duffel bag as well. Yeah, sure, drop my duffel bag. And that's the only thing I've had to drop, but at this point I'm probably running close to my maximum volume, yeah. With the longbow and the forked spear in my inventory. So generally speaking, I would be wearing my longbow. But let's have a quick look at how that's affected us. We're down to 27 torso encumbrance now. It's actually really good. A large chunk of that is coming from the MBR vest. But again, that's amazing levels of protection. Hard to justify not having that. Very hard to justify not having it. We could see how it goes. We could drop off the Super Alloy MBR vest. Considering how frequently we are actually in melee combat, might not be that much of an issue. In fact, with our torso encumbrance that much lower, it might not be an issue. Generally speaking, if I'm getting into close quarters, then honestly, I probably already dropped my duffel bag anyway, and my bow. We'll see. We'll see. If I were to drop that, then if I just take it off for the moment, though, I will end up dropping it as a result. So drop it, and then we have another look. Only 12 encumbrance on the torso at that point, but my protection is much lower. But just to have a quick look at that, my attack rolls are only minus 12%. My dodge roll is only minus 1, rather my dodge skill is minus 1. Melee and thrown weapon attacks are a little bit faster now as a result. On the whole, much better. Much better. We'll see. We'll see. I'll wield that for now. We'll drop that off. I'm not entirely certain about that one being a good move. We'll have a look. But if we have a look now, back up to 62. Is it really going to make that much of a difference? I'm not sure. We'll have to think about that in the next episode. But that's going to be it for this one. We've done a massive amount of crafting and have significantly upgraded Brutus's general combat efficiency and ability to move around. A little bit worried about the lack of the MBR vest. We'll have a think about that one. But that was a good first step. In the next episode, I'm probably going to be dealing a little bit with vehicle components and maybe trying to put together a welding rig. We'll have to see, but that's it from me. So until next time, and as always, do take care, everyone.